Good morning, class. This time, we will be discussing about the proper budgeting and management. For our objectives, the first one, manage the family resources efficiently, and the second one, prioritize needs over wants. Class, before we proceed to our main topic, I want you to define first the following words. The first one, we have family income. Second one, budget. The third one is the investment. And the fourth one is the earnings. And the fifth one is the lifestyle. Class, what is a budget? A budget is a plan to estimate income and expenses. This is the money that we will be spending for our daily expenses. While the lifestyle is the way of living. Family income is the combined money earned by the father and mother and other working members of the family. The earnings is the income or the profits money earned. The investment to put one's money in something so it can earn profit in return, like stocks or in the bank or in other corporation. Class, I want you to look at on the table on the screen. This is the example of the family budget for 1 month. For the monthly income, we have 20,000 pesos. For the family members, we have 3 members. Okay, on the table, we have 3 columns. The first one is the item. The second one is the percentage of the budget allotted. And the third one is the amount. For our first example, on the first item, we have the food, education, shelter, utilities, household operation, clothing, recreational, savings, and total. For the food, we have 40%, which is 8,000 pesos. For education, 25%, which is 5,000 pesos. For shelter, we have 10%, that is 2,000 pesos. And for utilities, 10%, we also have 2,000 pesos. And for the household operation, we have 6%, that is 1,200. And for clothing, 3,000, and that is 600 pesos. And for recreation, we have 3% again, another 600 pesos. And for the savings, we have 3% also, 600 pesos. The total of 100% for the budget allotted and for the amount is 20,000 pesos. Based on the table on the screen, let's find out on how to get the percentage of the budget allotted per item. Here is the example of the family budget. For the monthly income, we have 20,000 pesos for the 3 members of the family. Now this time, let's find out on how to get the percentage of the budget allotted per item. For food, you're going to multiply the 20,000 pesos to 0.4% in order to get the 8,000 pesos. For education, you multiply the 20,000 pesos to 0.25% in order to get again the 5,000 pesos. And for shelter, also, you multiply the 20,000 pesos to get to 10% in order to get the 2,000 pesos, and so on and so forth. That's the process on how to get the percentage of the budget allotted per item. Before we proceed to our main topic, I have first some questions for you, class. The first one, have you given an allowance every day? And the second one, what did you usually buy with your allowance? And how much did you spend? Are you thrifty? Or did you spend too much or overspend with your allowance? For our pre-test, letter A, answer the following questions. Number 1, who is working in your family to support your daily needs? Number 2, does your family do list of budgets? Number 3, If so, who holds the money and does the budgeting? Number 4, what are the things that included in your budget list? And last one, is the budget strictly followed? B, true or false? Read each situation carefully. Put a check on the blank if the statement is true and X if it is false. Number 6, your family has a small carinderia and you help washing the dishes after school. Number 7, your father is jeepney driver and he drives every day to earn money. You ask for payment every time he asks you to clean the jeep. Is it true or false? Number 8, you save money from your allowance and you want to buy a new cell phone. However, your mother told you that the Meralco bills has just arrived and she has no money to pay the bill. You did not give your savings to your mother. Do you agree with this or not? True or false? Number 9, Mark spent his school allowance in buying anything, even unnecessary things. And number 10, Mary Grace saved 20 pesos of her school allowance every day. Okay, are you agree with that or no? So, please write true or false. This time, we will be discussing about the proper budgeting and management. Every family needs enough and permanent resources to sustain their daily needs. Resource is a source of supply, support, or aid that prevents the family from difficulties such as hunger and sickness. Income and expenses are two important items in a family budget. For a young boy or girl, your income is the allowance given to you by your parents or girls from relatives or people close to you. Your expenses are the things you buy in school or in malls or satisfying your needs and wants. Hence, the components of family budget are the food, clothing, health, education, shelter, recreation, transportation, and contingency, which meet the needs and demands of the family members. But it's not enough that the family has its sources. These sources must well manage. In addition, this could be done through proper budgeting and managing between sources. In budgeting, it is important to know the difference between the wants and the needs. In this lesson, you're going to learn the preparation of the feasible and practical budget, how to manage the family resources efficiently, and prioritizing needs over wants. Family needs and wants. Every family and member of the family has needs and wants. Needs are the basic or the essential to living. They support our existence. Basic needs are like food, clothing, and shelter are necessary for everyone to survive. Man needs foods to keep his body strong and healthy. He needs shelter to protect himself and his family from the heat of the sun, from winds and the rain, and wild animals, as well as to provide him privacy to do his personal needs. Wants, on the other hand, are different from needs. If needs are essential to survival, wants are the desires an individual would like to have or possess to give him or her enjoyment and satisfaction. Buying a dress simply because you want a new one, or you're be in fashion, or a pair of shoes that are branded and expensive because your friends wear the same brand are examples of wants. It is important to know your priorities. So class, what are your needs? Your needs are the foods, clothing, and shelter. Those are necessary and important. While wants are less important like gadgets, like dress, new shoes, or other material things that are unneeded. Here are some tips in managing resources effectively. Number 1, use energy and time properly. Number 2, know how to budget money to make spending worthwhile. Number 3, know how to use, clean, and take care of appliances, the tools, and furniture to keep them functioning well. Number 4, adopt a cheerful and positive attitude towards work to make work easily, interesting, and enjoyable. Number 5, assign responsibilities that can make use of one's talents and skills in doing family chores such as cooking meal, recycling old clothes, and decorating house. Class, what did you learn today? Today, you've learned now about the needs and the wants, and you've learned also what are the things that you need to prioritize. Remember that to be able to manage resources wisely, it would help if a family would set goals, be consistent in their financial strategy, and distinguish between needs and the wants. Resources are things, ideas, or qualities possessed by individual or a family. This can be a form of services or properties used to produce goods and services that meets the needs and wants of a man. This can be achieved through an effective management of a family resources. All people have needs. Needs are the things we must to have to survive. We need food, water, clothes, and shelter. Wants are the things we would like to have but do not need. Some people want a car or boat, some jewels, and some want TV and cell phone. Let's have a short activity. Identify which can be your needs and which can be your wants, W. Write N or W on the space provided for. Number 1, a new dress. The answer is wants, W. Number 2, clean water to drink. The answer is needs, N. A pair of new shoes, W. A daily school allowance, N. Number 5, daily food for lunch. The answer is N. This time, we'll have our post test. For our directions, multiple choice, write the letter of the correct answer. Number 1, our basic needs are A. Education, B. Food and shelter, C. Recreation, or D. Jewelries. The answer is B. Food and shelter. Number 2, the family's blank are important guides to decision making. A. Assets, B. Goals and values, C. Properties, and D. Income. The answer is letter B. Goals and values. Number 3, shelter means blank. A. Clothing, B. House, C. Recreation, and D. Family. The answer is letter B. House. Number 4, a financial plan to help you manage your needs. A. Assets, B. Budget, C. Plan, D. Properties. The answer is letter B. Budget. Number 5, savings in one's budget will enable you to meet A. Emergencies, B. Other people, C. Social needs, and D. Wants. The answer is A. Emergency. Number 6, this is not usually priorities with most average families. A. Clothing, B. Food, C. Shelter, and D. Education. The answer is letter A. Clothing. Number 7, many families believe that blank is the key to a better life in the future. A. Education, B. Money, C. Social needs, and D. Shelter. The answer is letter A. Education. Number 8, in most families, the biggest percentage given to an item is blank. A. Education, B. Food, C. Transportation, D. Clothing. The answer is letter B. Food. Number 9, the family income is responsibility for the following. Blank. A. Father as a head of the family, B. Mother as a keeper of the family, C. Brother and sister as a helper of the family, and D. All the members of the family. The answer is letter A. The father as a head of the family. Number 10, what family requires and claims as necessary? A. Demands, B. Needs, C. Wants, D. Education. The answer is B. Needs. At this moment, I want you to answer your module. Answer all the activities in your module class. Okay, this is the end of our discussion. See you next time.